And now it's time for everyone's favorite segment on the 𝗦𝗢𝗘𝗖𝗜𝗔 channel, Top 3. Wait, what? Oh. We're doing, really? Guys, I've just been told we're doing Top 5 today. Get rid of that Top 3, we're doing a Top 5. The Top 5 best obstacles from ANW Season 13. Let's go. What's going on, you guys? It's 𝗦𝗢𝗘𝗖𝗜𝗔𝗟 here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 favorite obstacles that I had the privilege of trying on American Ninja Warrior Season 13. The season ended airing a couple months ago and ended filming a while ago now, so I've had a lot of time to think and reflect on what obstacles were my favorite and why they were my favorite. So I've come up with a definitive top 5 list of my favorite obstacles that I attempted this year on American Ninja Warrior. I've gotten a lot of comments asking me to do more videos about my season on ANW 13, and I figured this could be maybe even the start of a series. So this is going to be my top 5 favorite obstacles that I got to try, but if you guys want to see anything else, let me know down in the comments below and we could start an ANW 13 review series, and I think it'd be pretty cool if we did that, so just let me know in the comments below, you know? Drop a comment, also like, subscribe, share, gotta do those 3 things. Enough jibber jabber, let's get into the list. Coming in at number 5, we have the final obstacle of stage 1, which is the fly hooks. So the fly hooks were an insanely fun obstacle, and I gotta tell you guys, a little behind the scenes moment, when I got stuck on the fly hooks for the first time, my palm ripped open. There's these things in Ninja called rips, where basically your hand will tear open and it'll start bleeding, and that happened to me while I was on the fly hooks, and I felt it happen. The adrenaline was rushing so hard that it didn't hurt at the time, but I remember feeling it after my run, and it was one of the most painful rips that I've ever gotten, so I had to run stage 2 with that rip, which was not ideal. But, yeah, when I got stuck on the fly hook, I ripped open. That's just a little behind the scenes information. But the reason why I love the fly hooks so much is because they're like the sky hooks, which are a common obstacle that I've done a ton in training, but they're swinging, and they get a little tricky because you can get stuck on them. You saw I got stuck on them. So you have to really lift it off, and I really enjoy how creative of an obstacle it was, especially for that last obstacle. It was the first time that the final obstacle of stage 1 has been something you've had to move. It's always just been something static like the twist and fly or flying squirrel or just some bars, but this year was something you had to move with the ring. And then I also cut it very close, climbing up the cargo net, and I feel like the fact that I was able to hit the buzzer right after the fly hooks definitely brings it up in my estimation as well. This obstacle was so much fun, and it was kind of the culmination of stage 1, which was my favorite course I ran all year on American Ninja Warrior, so fly hooks has to come in at number 5 for me. You know what, this next one's gonna come as a big surprise to you, but my number 4 favorite obstacle is the padlock. Yeah, you guys, I know I fell on the padlock, but I think it was such a creative and cool obstacle that I can't not put it on this list. We created a replica back at Jungle Gym as well, so I've practiced that so much, so I feel like I have the technique down now because I wanted to make sure that I could get it after falling. We don't talk about it, we forget about the fall. Well, we don't forget about it, but we gotta put it behind us because the padlock is a really cool obstacle, and just because I fell on it doesn't mean that I don't think it is an insanely cool obstacle. I love how the first wheel you have to grab and then it spins you down, it really jolts you. The second wheel you gotta cat grab and then you gotta shimmy your way down. You gotta have super good body control. I didn't have good enough body control. And then the third wheel too, it looks easy, but no, it can jolt you side to side and you have to spin it all the way around to get off. I think it was a super creative obstacle, and I don't think we've ever really seen anything like it on American Ninja Warrior before. I wish I got to try the whole thing because it looked really fun, especially that ending part of it where you got the cat grab off and dismount. But you know, if it comes back next year, I am determined to beat the padlock, and I just think it was a really creative obstacle, so I don't know how I couldn't put it on this list. At first, trust me, right after I fell, I would not have put it on this list, but now after I've had time to think about it, I really enjoy the obstacle, so padlock comes in at number 4. So far we've had an obstacle from stage 1, we've had one from semifinals. Next is from qualifying. My 3rd favorite obstacle from this year was the air surfer from the Tacoma qualifiers. And guys, you know me, I love the flying bar. The flying bar is one of my favorite obstacles. You just feel like you're flying through the air. You have to be super precise. If you miss one side, you're done. It's a really high stakes and super fun obstacle. The air surfer is a new take on the flying bar, where instead of you having a bar, you have an upside down snowboard with handles on it, and you have to hop it across these cradles. You guys, when I saw that air surfer was a qualifying obstacle, when they were going through the course walkthrough, basically they take you through a walkthrough before you run the course. When I saw that it was the obstacle, I was like, this is qualifying. and I have a flying bar obstacle. If I miss one side, I'm done. But honestly, it was super fun to do in the course. My run was fast forwarded, so you didn't get to see the full obstacle, but basically I landed, took one backswing, landed, took another backswing, and then landed, took one more backswing, and just dismounted right off. I felt like I was super efficient through it as well, and that really built up my confidence to carry through the rest of the course, through the pretzel twist and the warped wall. And I feel like completing the air surfer really got me through that course, because that was one that I was, even though I love flying bar, I was still nervous for it because it's such a high variance obstacle. If you miss one side, you're done. And yeah, it makes you really nervous, but I think it was a really cool design, and I'm super happy that I got to try it, and I was really happy that it was in my qualifying course, because although Tipping Point and 𝗠𝗘𝗗𝗜𝗔 both looked fun, out of these three, Air Surfer looked the most fun to me, and it was so much fun. You just felt like you were flying through the air, it felt like a parachute coming down, and I loved how soft the landings were when you landed on them because they were padded. Just such a fun obstacle all around. Alright you guys, we're at the top two, and I'm gonna give you a hint. Both of my top two favorite obstacles come from stage 1. And coming in at number 2, we have the iconic obstacle I'm sure you expected it to be somewhere on this list, the Double Dipper. Guys, the Double Dipper is like a roller coaster with your hands. It's about 50 feet long, somewhere around there, and you get across it in like 3.2 seconds. Alright, it is insane. I remember walking up to set and like looking at all the obstacles, I was like, oh, that doesn't look too bad, that doesn't look too bad. The Double Dipper was like 30 feet up in the air when you're standing on the platform. You're just looking down into the water at your instant demise if you fall. It's terrifying, guys. You're just standing up on that platform and you're like, well, here goes nothing. But it is so much fun, especially in that weightless moment midair when you let go of the first bar and then you're reaching for the second bar and you're just midair. Oh my gosh. But I will say, I don't remember the Double Dipper. I remember getting on it and then getting off of it because it just, everything happens so fast. The wind is just blowing in your face. You're going crazy, just flying across this giant track. You're like, hold on for dear life. Gotta stick the dismount. It is a lot to think about in just a couple of seconds, like about 3 seconds. But it is so much fun of an obstacle, you guys. Like, I'm literally smiling thinking about it right now. Like, I want to make it back to Vegas just to do the Double Dipper again. It is such a fun obstacle, you guys. I've done replicas of it as well, like at the National Ninja League World Finals, and I was like, oh, these are fun, they're like the Double Dipper, but I never knew how crazy it would actually be until I actually got to try it. So Double Dipper has to come in at number 2, and honestly, there's an argument for it being number 1, but I just have a special bond to the first place spot. Now, before we get into our number 1 pick, I'm gonna give you a couple of honorable mentions. We'll go with 3 or 4. So the first honorable mention I want to do comes from qualifying overpass. First upper body obstacle I ever did on the show. Super fun, a nice timing obstacle, just a great obstacle all around. I thought it was really creative and fun, and a super cool obstacle to have in the second position, pretzel twist. This obstacle was really cool, another qualifying obstacle, and I think it was really creative how you had to get your hands in the right spots. And even though I'd say it looks a little easier than Air Surfer, in my opinion it was actually harder than Air Surfer. It was the hardest obstacle on that course just because of how finicky it was. So yeah, pretzel twist has to get an honorable mention as well in my opinion. Another honorable mention, this might be surprising to some, but I'm gonna give Drop Zone an honorable mention because I thought it was super fun and creative, and I didn't hit my head on it, so that was fun. And I just really, the whole time, like I was just like, hold on. And I remember being a little scared on it, but I think I went through it really smoothly and efficiently. So I really enjoyed the Drop Zone obstacle as a whole, honestly, even with the couple of mishaps that it had. And the final honorable mention that I want to give goes to the salmon ladder from stage 2 because it was really creative how you had to go up and over, and it was just a lot of fun, a fun new take on the salmon ladder. And being that high up doing a salmon ladder is absolutely terrifying. So that was a lot of fun. I remember holding onto that thing and I was like, if you let go, Enzo, you better not let go. Anyway, let's move on to number 1. Coming in at number 1, let's see if you guys can predict it. It's on stage 1. It's not the first obstacle, it's not the swinging blades, it's not the warped wall, it's not the jumping spider, it's not the dipping birds, which means my number 1 obstacle is the tire run. You guys, this obstacle was one wild ride. I sprinted up the tires, and then once I hit the third one, I was like, nope, grabbed the tire, hugged it completely, got back up, stepped back up, started swinging, swing one, swing two, landed on the giant spinning tire, caught the next one, and then swung to the dismount. You guys, that obstacle was just like, I was on the edge the entire time. It felt like one crazy ride, and being able to complete it was so awesome because that, in my opinion, is one of the more intimidating obstacles on stage 1, especially that giant spinning tire. You guys saw in season 11 when they first introduced that in that spot, people would land on it and then they would spin back on it and then have to hold on, so that's super intimidating. And if you don't get the right bounce off that tire, you will spin right off and you will miss the handle. So being able to land on it, jump up, catch the handle with ease, and get right off that obstacle was just so awesome to me, especially because even leading up to it, tire run was one of the obstacles I was practicing the most in the gym. We didn't have exact replicas, but I was practicing it so much just because I was nervous for it. So I feel like being able to complete it on the show really proved to me that all my training had paid off. And it also proved to me that I belonged there, and it really, I think, drove me through the rest of the course, because that was one of the obstacles that I was like, can I complete this? I'm not really a parkour guy, I don't have the best jumps. I was unsure of myself, but being able to complete it and show myself that I was strong enough to do it and talented enough to complete that obstacle was just amazing. So tire run comes in as my favorite obstacle from ANW Season 13. So guys, let me know what else you'd like to see regarding ANW Season 13, any more top 5 lists. If you'd like to see a full season review or something like that, let me know. If you want to see me reviewing certain runs, let me know as well. I can do anything for American Ninja Warrior Season 13, so please be sure to let me know down in the comments right now. Like, subscribe, share, and comment, as I just said. Just please let me know, guys. The ideas are the best. Your guys' ideas are awesome, so just let me know. And I will see y'all in the next one. We gotta end this video quick because retention needs to be good.